What's your most difficult prep?
Oh, geez. Last year, Hadi Chopin.
Yeah.
Last year, because there were so many outside stresses.
Right.
The fact of getting him here, he had 4 years previously, never was able to get here.
Yeah.
And then we finally got him here. Then when we got him here, he doesn't speak English. He's deaf where he has to read lips.
Yeah.
He has to read lips in Farsi, and not like my Americanized Farsi.
Yeah.
Right. It's not my, my broken, my broken Farsi that I learned growing up.
Yeah.
Because I can't read and write Farsi. So for all those that keep messaging me and, on Instagram and they think that I can read what you're saying. No, I can't read any of it. But it was the most difficult prep because of all of those things. Then it was also layering in people that could help. It's handlers, like literally helping him with getting food, getting him to the gym or here or there to meet me, because I was still running a business. I still had, other people that I had to work with, a lot of different things that I had to do. But I think that that one comes to mind because it was probably the most recent, but also because it was difficult in so many ways and things that I had no control over, like the State Department, immigration, all of those things, other countries, governments, multiple governments. And right now we're going through the same thing right now. Yeah. Everyone's asking me where that's at. And it's honestly, it's even more difficult this year because of COVID and the political climate than it was before. Yeah. So he's still prepping and he's bigger and he's better than he was last year, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we're just hoping we can get him here because we have all of the trials and tribulations that we had before, plus COVID. Yeah. So we're just looking forward to it. But but that was definitely the hardest.
Did you have the decision made already? Or did you wait to see what he looked like when you finally got him over here between 212 and open class?
I waited till he got here.
Yeah. And then took a look at what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was one of those things where it was like pull down, try to go for the win with the 212 and pull down, or try to maximize what it is. Yeah. And when I really spoke to him and we sat down and we talked, he really said, he was very emotional actually about it. He says, the Mr. Olympia is going after the Sandow. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what you're chasing. And that's what he wanted to chase. And I think obviously he made the right decision.
Top 3, right?
Yeah. So that's how that went.
All right. Number 4. I see this a lot on show days. Why are people always laying down in the back, especially with their feet up?
You get this question.
Does this help water retention?
Yes and no. Yeah, absolutely. Like getting off your feet is just going to help with, not swelling up, because especially if you're on your feet for if you're on your feet for a couple of minutes, don't piss sitting down. Like my coach said, because you got those clients, and guys know who I'm talking about. Whether it's you as an athlete or whether you're a coach, you have these situations where you turn around and you say something, and you got to be so specific, man, because they're going to turn around and you're like, hey man, stay off your feet. And you're like, hey, what are you doing there? And they're like, pissing sitting down. And you're like, do you really need to do that? Oh man, I got to stay off my feet, bro. And so, that being said, you need to make sure that you stay off your feet, but
especially the heavier they are, right?
Yeah. Well,
or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I think either way, the rule goes either way. I mean, obviously, if you're doing men's physique, you don't got to worry about it. You're wearing trunks, you're wearing board shorts. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about it as much. So you're like,
yeah. Okay. I mean, it was a question. I mean, you see it all the time, and I don't think anyone really has an answer to it apart from like.
Yeah. So the simple answer is yes, there is something to it. So you want to try to stay off your feet as much as possible, because you can get some swelling in your legs the longer you stay up, especially when you are on a cold floor and you have, I always tell everybody, always bring flip-flops. Always bring flip-flops. And you'll have some guys, and they're literally getting on stage with socks on because their feet were cold. They didn't bring flip-flops, and then they forget. And I've seen it all. I've seen them go up on flip-flops. I've seen them wear socks and try to get up on there. So the key is to try to minimize how much you're on your feet. Yeah. And make sure you have something, because those floors can get really, really cold.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5. Is your favorite cardio machine for prep?
Oh, that's easy.
Because I know there's a lot of people that avoid stairs because they don't want their legs to waste away, or whatever. There's no running in bodybuilding typically because of an injury risk, and they're too heavy to be running around anyways. But what's your favorite cardio machine for prep?
That's actually not true.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's try to
dive into the running situation.
Do some myth busting here.
Okay, let's do some myth busting.
Right. There's times where I've had Olympia level people run.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And now how they run and
men's open,
where they run. Yep. I've had people do it, man. I've had people do it. Okay. And how they've run, where they've run, all of those things. Mm-hmm. Now, are they going on long distance runs? No. Yeah. No. But, I have had my athletes sprint. I've had them do things where we've done uphill runs and sprints. Mm-hmm. Stuff that's going to help with blood pulling and being able to really work the pump into the cardio. I'm a huge advocate of the step mill. I've started having people use step mill 20 years ago. Yeah. I'm probably the reason why Ronnie Coleman used step mill, because I had Ronnie Coleman's girlfriend start using step mill. So he bought one for her. Mm. And this is actually a true story. What happened was Alti was getting ready for a show, and I was having her do the step mill. He started using the step mill, and this is back in 2003, where he came in his heaviest. Mm. So, again, did he lose his legs in 2003?
No.
Exactly. But he liked it so much when he was doing cardio that he ended up buying two, because he could do cardio with her and had him right in his home gym. Yeah. So he could roll out of bed, do whenever he was supposed to do his cardio. Mm-hmm. But he started using the step mill because I had Alti using it. And then when he started using it, he started seeing more detail, and he liked it so much that, like I said, he ended up buying two of them. So favorite piece of cardio equipment, step mill. Now, do I use it all the time with all my clients? No, but it's not because I'm worried about them losing their legs or.
Where is that even coming from?
That's just from people that just are being lazy. And it's just, again, this is all about myth busting. Yeah. And it's a matter of what's best for them. Mm-hmm. But I had Jay using it in 2000.
Jay have 3 of them at his house?
Yeah. And we would go back and forth between step mill, and we would go back and forth between treadmill and step mill. And it's one of those things that we'd always have to worry about his legs being flat, especially because he had one leg that he had injured a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And that was his right leg. And that was, smaller than his left. And we would always have to worry about that. But that never was a problem, even though we would use a step mill. But it wasn't a problem whatsoever.
Right. Perfect. Myth busting, number 5.
Yeah.
Took care of some of those.
Yeah. And for all you ladies out there, if you are doing cardio, there are going to be times where it's going to be much more actually beneficial for you to be able to do cardio on a run, because sometimes they do start with higher body fat percentages, mm-hmm. and they have to come down, and it does burn more calories. So when you're running versus just like a walking on the treadmill,